So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the fifth session of this organizational behavior. And in this session, we will cover up the basic two topics, that is about the attitude, and if time permits, we'll go for the perception as well. Okay. Now, as we discussed in the last class about the specific personality trait that is called about the types of personality, its characteristics. Now, one of the most important characteristics or dimension of human behavior or individual behavior, that is called the attitude. Okay. Now, basically, when we discuss about the term attitude, the people might have the different perspective, different proposition, different definition about this particular term attitude. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about this simple language about what is attitude, it is nothing but individual's point of view. For example, regarding a particular situation, regarding a particular situation, a person might have certain psychological, you could say, understanding about a particular situation. For example, if we are facing, you could say, certain sort of, you could say, meeting we have, certain sort of, you could say, discussion is going on in the organization, each and every individual having their own point of view about a particular situation or the challenges which the company is facing right now. So whenever we talk about in a simple language about what is attitude, it is nothing but individual's point of view, how someone look at something. Okay, individual point of view at something in a very simple language. If we are talking right now, if we talk about more about what is attitude, it is nothing but the mental status or mental state of an individual, how an individual basically under what circumstances he perceives something. Okay, and according to that he will definitely react and behave in a predetermined manner. Okay, so when we discuss about the mental state of an individual and how the mental state of an individual can basically create their reaction, their perception, their behavior, attitude in a predetermined way. So always remember the second definition about the attitude, nothing but it is a mental state of an individual which prepares him to react or make him behave, make him behave in a particular predetermined way. Okay, according to that, definitely the person will react. Okay, if you go to the more filtered or more bookish language definition, that is about it is a learned predisposition to respond in a consistently favorable or unfavorable manner. Because as I told you, that regarding a particular situation, a particular person may have a favorable or unfavorable point of view regarding a particular situation. Okay, now as I told you, attitude may be favorable or unfavorable, depends on a particular mental state of an individual. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the attitude, its mechanism, its process, it's how people express their feelings, express their feeling. That is simple language about what the attitude is all about. Okay. Now, if I talk about a very basic structure of this particular attitude, or you could say component of attitude, there are basically three major components which define the characteristics of the attitude. So, the next topic we have components of attitude. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the components of attitude basically is of three types. The first is called affective, second is called cognitive, and third one is called intentional. Now, three major components of attitude. We'll discuss all these points one by one. Now, when we discuss about this particular part about the affective component or cognitive component, or we can say intentional component, in a simple word, in a simple language, if we can understand what is affective component, it is basically the feelings and emotion of a particular individual towards a particular situation. Feeling and emotions towards a situation. How a particular person feel, what about their emotional stability towards a particular situation, according to that their attitude will be defined. Okay, second point is called cognitive component. It is basically an attitude which is derived from a knowledge. Okay, now like for example, if certain you could say activities going on in the environment, now that particular activity happened because of the some scientific phenomena, a particular person who having the knowledge about science, knowledge about physics, knowledge about a particular you could say branch of the science, they can actually understand with the help of the knowledge they have. Okay, so any attitude derived from the knowledge of a particular situation or a particular you could say problem, and according to that you will actually derive or you will actually reflect your attitude toward that particular action. It is called the cognitive attitude. So derived from knowledge that an individual has about a situation. Okay, and the last but not the least, that is called the intentional component. Okay, intentional component is basically reflection of a particular person. Okay, how a particular individual express to behave towards a particular situation. Okay, that is called intentional component. That is about a simple attitude which reflect that how a particular individual expect to behave towards or in a situation. Okay, so in a simple language, if you can see that how an individual expects to behave towards or in the situation. Clear? So that is a very basic fundamental about what is the meaning of this affective, which relate to feeling and emotion. Second, cognitive, which is all about your derived knowledge of derived knowledge, and the intentional is all about basically how a particular person behave in a certain situation. Okay, these are the components of uh, a particular attitude part. Now I have one picture to show you, I think, for this particular cognitive and all three components. Let me just copy that image over here. Yeah. So this is basically the image we have that is defined about the components of attitude. And you can see this image right now, which includes all the three basic components, which may be negative or positive attitude. You can see the first part, that is cognitive, affect, and behavioral are closely related. Definitely. Because the first we talk about the cognitive. The cognitive is basically based on the evaluation, okay, which is based on the knowledge. Okay. My supervisor gave a promotion to a co-worker who deserved it less than me. My supervisor is unfair. Because of the comparison they have, actually they are evaluating, as I told you already, the cognitive attitude is basically is all about the knowledge to someone. And according to that, he is actually expressing his feeling towards that particular situation. Okay. Affective. Affective means all about emotions, your feelings about a situation. I dislike my supervisor. It is basically one of the very best example about your feeling, your emotions towards a particular individual, that is a supervisor. Now behavioral, that is about the intentional, which we talked about. Okay, under intentional, it is all about how you expect to behave in a situation. I'm looking for other work. I have complained about my supervisor to anyone who would listen. So you can see that behavioral component is action, affective component means feeling, cognitive means that is about the comparison and the evaluation. And these three part is basically the negative attitude towards supervisor. I hope so this part is clear to everyone. I'm unmuting right now to everyone and we can discuss those, please. Any query to anyone in the components of attitude? Yes, students, I'm waiting for your answers, please. Any query? If not, then we'll move to the next topic, attitude formation and change. No query, I think so. Yeah, sure. So I think there is no more query. If you have any query in between as well, please, you can raise your hand. It's far better for me to interact with you. I'll unmute the person, those who are having any query in between. Fine. Let's move to the next part, that is about attitude formation and change. Now, first of all, attitude formation. How the attitude is formed, first of all, how the attitude is basically preserved, or how the attitude is basically created, that is a part of formation. How the attitude will form, basically, it is because maybe some learning you have. Okay. Attitude may be formed, you could say, over a period of time, because attitude creation is not a static process, it's a dynamic process, first of all. Okay. And because of your personal experience, because of a repeated experience, you can see that about an idea, about situation, about a people, you always form your attitude towards a particular situation. For example, if there is a, you could say, a dispute between husband and wife, newly married couple, for example, you don't know the behavior of each other in certain situation. Might be they have actually the different opinion about a particular situation, some household activity, some family decisions if they have to take. The attitude formation is basically the part which will be the repetitive action of a wife or a husband towards each other, and according to that they will actually presume that if such situation happened, this would be the behavior of my wife, of my husband. That is called attitude formation. So in a simple language, if we can see that, it is, sorry, we can say the first part, attitude formation is the process, is the process, or you could say continuous process, I can say, I think so, is a continuous process of repeated personal experiences, repeated personal experiences with ideas, comma, situations or people. Okay. That is about the attitude formation. Okay. Now these attitude formation may be a situation specific, or it may be learned. It may be situation specific or learned. Okay. Now the second part is all about attitude change. Now, attitude change is because of new information. For example, regarding investment, like for example, if I'm talking about from the investment perspective, you might have certain, you could say, perspective of investing in the share market, in SIPs, in some government bonds or whatsoever. Suddenly you have more knowledge, you have, you could say, more security about the investments, what the person will do. Because of the new information, a particular person's attitude may be positive or may be negative, or you could say there is a change in attitude because of this certain action, because certain information in the market. So attitude change is as a result of, as a result of new information. Okay. Now these information may be, you could say, a negative attitude or a positive attitude, maybe it may be both of the things actually. Okay. Now the new information which we have, which might create the positive or might create the negative attitude of a particular person towards a particular situation or a problem. So that is about the attitude formation and attitude change. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the various components of attitude formation and attitude change, we will definitely discuss about this particular part one by one. Okay. So the components of attitude formation and change. Okay. Components of attitude formation and change. Okay. Now, when I'm just talking about the attitude formation, or attitude change, we can say that the first and the most important component about attitude formation is the work related attitudes. Work related attitudes. Okay. Now, what is work related attitude? Okay. That is about attitude towards a particular situation in the company. That may be about salary, that may be about promotion, that may be about you could be a superior. So any entity available in the organization, and according to that, a particular person is basically developing their attitude towards a particular person, or you could say food in canteen. Okay. What else we can say? You could say any uniform if you have in this in the office. So each and every component may be the form, or maybe you could say the reason behind creating the attitude of a particular person towards a situation. Okay. Second, the most important part is the job satisfaction. Now, when we talk about the job satisfaction, it is all about up to what extent you are satisfied with your job. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the job satisfaction in a simple language, extent to which an individual is gratified, or you could say satisfied with the situation or a problem in the company, or you could say a challenge in the company. Now, these basically are the personal factors as well. Okay, because when we discuss about the job satisfaction, there are basically two major factors we have. Okay, that these factors, maybe you could say any group factor, you could say any organizational factor, or it may be you could say a satisfied employee. Okay, so job satisfaction is consist of, it may be satisfaction of employee. Now the satisfaction of employee, it is you could say because of good salary structure, good contribution, good promotional you could say facilities, job security. So it may be satisfaction of employee, or satisfaction due to organizational factor. Due to organizational factor, which may pay, promotion, policies, procedure, working condition, relationships. Okay, so these are the major, you could say, component which comes under components of attitude and its formation. Okay, the next part please. Now, that is organizational commitment and involvement. The next point. Organizational commitment and involvement. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the organizational commitment and the involvement, there are basically two major components which comes under this category. Okay. When we discuss about the organizational commitment, now what is commitment actually? If we can say that in a simple language, commitment, when we talk about the commitment of a particular person, that is about the feeling of identification, feeling of involvement. Okay. So organizational commitment is basically consists of two parts. That is about the feeling of involvement or identification. Okay. And when we talk about the second part, or you could say identification, I think is a better word, I think so. And when we discuss about the involvement of a particular person, okay, involvement is all about motivated by certain factor. Okay, because of certain factors, because of the, you could say, certain attraction in the company, a particular person may involve. So it is also called basically extrinsic motivational factors. These are basically the reason behind the involvement of a particular person towards organization. Okay. The fourth category, which I'll just cover up now, that is, no, the 3 points we have, I think, in this particular category. That is about the attitude, components, and the formation and the change. Okay. Any doubt to anyone, please, in this part? If so, you can raise your hand. We can discuss. Else, we'll move to the last topic of the attitude. I hope so, no query. So let me complete this attitude part first, and then I'll move to the query session from attitude topic. Okay. The last topic we have the measurement of attitude. The measurement of attitude. Now, when we discuss about the measurement of attitude, we have basically three methods to actually evaluate the attitude. Okay. The first one is called opinion survey. Second one is called interviews, and third one is called scaling techniques. Okay, what is opinion survey? If you take very simple language, it is basically nothing but a questionnaire based method, which is a closed questionnaire based method in which we have multiple choice question and we are asking about the opinion of an individual towards a situation. Okay, towards a situation. So if it's simple language, it's nothing but questionnaire with close ended questions. Okay. Second one is basically interviews. Okay. The interviews are basically like one-to-one interaction, maybe telephonic, maybe face-to-face. Okay. And we are keeping about the confidential informations. And scaling technique, it is all about how a particular person is basically uh, evaluating the attitude on the basis of scale. Scale, like example, satisfied, very satisfied, dissatisfied. Because I think in the chapter of research methodology, you might have Thurston attitude scale, Likert scale. I think you might have gone through with such questionnaire. Like for example, once you have gone through with a movie, there is always a scaling from rating from 1 to 10. It is called, these type of basically examples are scaling techniques. Okay, so scaling nothing but the scale on which we can measure the attitude. I hope so it is clear, everyone. Yes, students. So we are done with the attitude now, and now we'll start the perception, the next topic. Any query to anyone, please? Any doubt? And one more small topic, I think it is left, we can cover up very soon. That is about the sources of attitude, how the attitude is being basically created or formed from different sources. So the first source basically about your direct personal experience. Second one would be associations. Third one would be family, peer group, family or peer groups, neighborhood, neighborhood. Then we have economic status and occupation. Major reasons, okay, the sources or the information from where we always design our attitude or form our attitude, okay, and the mass communication. So they're the major actually sources from where the attitude is basically formed and created by an individual. Any query to anyone in this attitude chapter now? If not, then definitely we'll move to the next topic of the day, that is called the perception. Any doubt to anyone, please? If you have any query, please raise your hand. Yes, student, any doubt, please? Any query to anyone, please? No, I hope so. So let's move to the next topic then. Okay. Yes, student. So let's move to the next topic. Let me share the PPT now of next topic, that is perception. Okay. So for perception, definitely we have that slides. Okay. Let me copy the slides, please. One minute, students. Okay. So the next topic, we have the perception, and let me share my slides with you. Hanji. So when we discuss about the next topic, I hope so my PPTs are visible, and I'll just unmute everyone so that we can have discussion whether you have any query or not. Yes, I have unmuted everyone, please. Any query in attitude, please? A very simple topic it was. Okay. Hanji. Any doubt, any query? I hope so. No. Students, I have unmuted everyone, please. I hope so. Is everything clear? Mr. Anuj, Fateh, Poonam, Somjit, Vinod, and Gaurav. Any query, please?
No, sir, no query.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. So let's start the second topic of the day. That is about the perception. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the perception in a simple language, it is person's view of reality. Okay. If you can see the slides, because perception, when we discuss about the perception topic, it is all about, you can see this first slide, that is about the reality and understanding or reality, a process about how a particular person perceives something. Perceiving means that is about the person's view of reality. It means that the interpretation of a particular situation is called the perception. Interpretation of a particular situation is called the perception. You can see this particular line. Life is all about perception, positive versus negative. Whichever you choose will affect and more than likely reflect your outcomes. Most important thing in this particular perception part is all about, it is person's point of view about reality. How a particular person perceive the world, a situation, a problem. So that is a major or the most important part about the perception. Okay. If you can take a very basic definition, perception is the manner in which a person understands someone or something. It may be an individual, It may be any person, any situation, any size, any cut, any, you could say, motion, any familiarity, whatever it could be. Okay, so perceptual interpretation, maybe you could say, based on a situation or a stimulus which a particular person faces with. Okay, now when we discuss about the selectivity of a perception, it may be because of the intensity, size, contrast. We talk about repetitions, motions, novelty, and familiarity. The major you could say the components about the selectivity of perception, how perception is formed, and how perception is basically derived. Okay, now when we discuss about understanding an individual behavior, we always want to know, we always want to determine about an individual behavior in the company, and analyzing the individual behavior, it is basically based on how actually someone perceive a particular situation or a problem. It is nothing but your point of view about a particular situation. Okay, now you can see that the perception, what appears to be good to some may appear to be bad to others. It depends on how you look, how, what is your eyesight, what is your, you could say, mind mapping, your mindset regarding a particular situation. Accordingly, a person will react in the similar fashion. Okay, like for example, jewelry, hobbies like watching movie. Some may like, some may not like. It depends on your perception. Like for example, if I have a very good business idea in front of me, that business idea may be good or may be bad. It depends on how you perceive that particular idea. So that is about your perception regarding a particular situation. The next part is all about definition of perception. It is basically a process by which an individual organize and interpret their sensory impression in order to give meaning to their environment. Meaning to the environment means, like for example, you can see this diagram right now. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are, because what we think, accordingly we can perceive. Actually, things may be different, things might be, you could say, very opposite, but because of your mindset, your mental you could say proposition, your mental status, you perceive certain things opposite to what actually it is. So it is all about the definition of perception given by Stephen P. Robbins. Okay, the next part is a very important part about the perception can be defined as the process of receiving something, what we receive, what input we have, we select out of those, organize it, interpret it, checking, and will react according to the stimuli or according to data. Okay, I'll give it a basic example about this particular point. Okay, for example, a teacher teaching to in the class right now. I'm explaining all the topics of OB to you from the front regarding attitude, personality, perception, definition, models, whatsoever. You are receiving something. You will select some of the topic or some of the messages or input which is given by from my side as a selective perception, because definitely each and everyone might have a different level of understanding about the subject, about the communication which I have with you. You will organize those data, and if I'll ask some question just telling what is SR model, you will interpret it accordingly. Okay, and according to that I will check and definitely will react it and to the sensory stimuli or data. Now what is stimuli in this case? Right now we are interacting on Zoom right now, so Zoom and my slides are the stimulus for you, because people might have a perception. For example, if I'm not switching on my video right now, some people might have certain perception about the faculty personality. Okay, the faculty may look like this, the way of communication which I have, the way I speak to you, the way I ask the queries, the way I took the break, the way I change my slides, each and everything will create certain perception in the mind of the audience right now in the class. So what you receive, what you select, what you organize, what you interpret, check, react according to the stimulus. I hope so. Is this part clear? What we are discussing right now? I'm unmuting everyone right now again. Any query to anyone, please? Very, very simple topic.
Yes, and no query.
No queries? Fine. Anyone else,
Yes.
please? I hope so. Things are going
No,
very.
sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Vinod. Thank you so much. Shall we move? Yes. Now we'll discuss about what is stimuli. I think we will take a break of 10 minutes now. and we'll get back to 6 o'clock sharp. I think so. Then we'll start about all these particular topics. Sure.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much, Anuj. Thank you so much. So we are going for a short break of 10 minutes,
Okay.
and we'll get back to 6 o'clock sharp. Fine. Thank you so much. Yes, and we should start now. Okay. So the next topic we have about the what is stimuli. As you can see, this is a previous slide. We have discussed about how a particular person perceive. It is based on the stimuli or the stimulus. Now, what is stimulus? We need to understand first. Okay. The stimulus is basically nothing but, or stimuli, if we can, in a plural form, if we can say that, something which excites, something which arouses a particular person. Okay, you can see that, like for example, certain sound, some music, you could say some weather condition, which maybe talk about the pollution, any sort of, you could say, circumstances in the family as well. Each, like, any food, if we talk about, okay, anything which excites you, which affect you, which actually attract towards that particular propositions, that is called the stimuli. And because of this stimuli only, you always create your perception towards a particular situation. Okay, in a simple language, if we talk about what is perception, it is more about an intellectual process and the manner in which how a particular person or an individual perceive something because of his behavior, and different people may have different perception. We talk about the same object, finally. Okay, like the very simple and the very thumb rule, you could say, understanding, always you could say, very popular example, a glass may be half full or half empty. It's your perception how you are perceiving to that situation. Okay, the next one is a very important part about how a particular person can perceive something. Now, these perception may be because of certain sensation, or you could say physical sensory organs. With the eye, we can see. With ears, we can hear. Hands, we can touch. Nose, we can smell. And tongue, we can taste. So, sensation is basically the most important part, which is a physical sensory organ of an individual. Accordingly, you can see, you can smell, you can hear, you can taste, you can touch. Okay. Now, the sensory perception. We have basically five senses, first of all, which may be visual, or auditory, olfaction, that is smell, taste, and the touch. Okay. Now, these sensory information, these sensory part will actually always create the perception of a particular individual towards any object or any person, any situation in the environment. Importance of perception. Now, when we discuss about the importance of perception, we always have a particular human behavior, and that human behavior prediction is always based on their perceptions. Okay. Now, when we discuss about this particular part, that is perception, it is totally based on the subordinate need. You can see the example. Just read the picture right now, which is on the bottom of my screen. Please have a look of the picture first. Now, if you can see this picture right now, we are discussing about the basic importance of perception. Okay, because when we discuss about the perception, it may be because of the behavior, because of the personality, because of size, shape, color. In order to understand the human behavior, the behavior prediction, we can say, or the needs or subordinate dealing in the company, dealing in the family, you always need to perceive it correctly, perceive in a right direction, which is a very, very important concept about the human behavior, because perception always define the personality as well, because how you perceive, how you think, according to that your behavior will become. Okay. Next part, facilitates understanding of human behavior. Okay. Now you can see that, as I told you, that when we talk about the perception of a particular person, each and everyone will actually perceive a particular situation according to their mindset, their mental state, we can say. Now, when we discuss about customer satisfaction, like a very simple example I have told you, there maybe you could say different level of satisfaction, very happy, moderate, or not all happy. Different scale of perception we have. Okay, so whenever we talk about a particular person's feeling because of any use of product, any services, any situation, any you could say contingencies, any plans, if we can say, according to that the human behavior will always be rated on a particular scale. Helps in behavior prediction. Okay, you can see that the prediction, like if you can see that this is M or this W, it depends on which side you are. It depends on which side you are. Because as I told you that different person having different point of view, and because of change in point of view only, the personality of particular person always differ. Okay. For example, like very common example, if we talk about Indian society, when we talk about the traditional culture in India, a particular, you could say, apparels or a particular outfit being you could say wear by a particular female or a male, you may have a different perception, because perception is basically all about the analyzing that particular situation. You are not talking to that particular person. A person may be good looking, maybe handsome, maybe you could say fit, maybe muscular, but how you perceive that particular person depends on what's your mindset is all about. Okay, that is all about whether it is M, whether it is W. It's all about your perspective, how you actually see those situations. Determination of need. Okay, in order to analyze the need of particular person, you always need to perceive. For example, a children who is crying right now, who is actually behind you only because he needs something from you, maybe chocolates, maybe toys, maybe he want to roam outside. Determination of needs. Advertisement, if we talk about male and female products, definitely because of our need, the companies are basically going for advertisements regarding various, you could say, cosmetic products, various automobiles, or any product which is the need of the customer. What you need, again, analyzing the need and fulfilling the need is again the part of perception, how the companies are perceiving the need and requirement of the individual. The next one we have effective subordinate dealing. For example, if you're dealing with your boss, dealing with your colleague, and because of certain conflict, you can see that the things are basically stop working in the company. Always remember, if you want to deal with a particular situation, always perceive the mindset, perceive the words or the way your subordinate, your boss is talking to you. According to that, definitely you can perceive, you can understand what exactly the mindset of a particular person in certain situation. Next, we have factor influencing perception. It's very simple. You can just go through this point, please. Internal and external factors. I hope it's very simple, because when we talk about internal factors, we have need and motive, self-concept, we discussed in the last class only, beliefs, past experience, psychological, the mental state, and expectations. External factor may be size, intensity, color, frequency, status, contrast. These all would be the external factors. Okay. Yes, students. I hope so. Till this point, there is any query to anyone? No, I hope so. Shall we move to the next part? I think so. Yeah, no query. I think so. No one has raised their hand. Okay, let's move to the next part, please. That is about the factor influencing perception. We discussed already, internal maybe or external. Okay. Then we have internal factor, we discussed already, external factors. Yeah. Now the needs and motives, I think we are discussing all these points one by one. The first is needs and motive. Okay. It all the people perception determined by their inner needs. Okay. And according to need only, the company always actually launch their products. Self-concept. It is basically the psychological pyramid. What we think, what we say, what we do, how we are perceived. And because of the psychological process of particular person, the attention, according to that, how one actually analyzing the self, and according to that, you need to create your perception. The next one is belief. Belief is nothing but the fact you have that proposition, you have that mindset that you can achieve something, and the positivity which actually gives you, or which you could say, which escalate you, which motivates you to achieve that particular target. That is all about your belief, that confidence, if you're talking right now. Past experience, very simple, that because of your experience only, you may not repeat the same mistake what you did in the past, and according to that, you would be more improved version on day-to-day basis. Current psychological state, maybe depression, maybe anxiety, maybe happiness, maybe overwhelming response, or maybe you could say different state of mind you have. So what state actually it is, accordingly you will perceive. Okay. Expectations. Expectation always affect your perception. Okay. No expectation, no disappointment. Generally it is being said actually, but when we are affected, like for example, if you're affected with your wife, with your husband, with your child, you always tends to create certain perception or expectation from them. And because of the increasing expectation, a particular person may perceive something in case if the things are not favorable. Okay. External factor, the size, intensity, frequency, status, and the contrast. The first one, the size. Color, you can see, you can easily read that. Yellow, you can easily read that. Reading this blue is difficult. Reading this orange is difficult. Okay. So it is again the one of the way how a particular person is writing, how a particular person is basically putting the colors on the drawings. We can say that accordingly you may perceive something. Size. Size is nothing but, like for example, for the advertisement, you can see that the big air balloons are there. How the Oppo phone actually being marketed, how the particular different automobile companies are marketing their vehicles. Okay. So it is again the one of the important part. The size also matter when it comes to creating the perception. Personality, as I told you already. Intensity. Intensity is basically is all about whether it is bright, whether it is dull, whether it is, you could say, normal color. So intensity is basically also increasing the chance of selection of a particular situation. Okay. Frequency, repetitions, how frequent it is. Whether it is highly frequent, you will be used to of that. So frequency, again, one of the most important, you could say, external factor. According to that, the perception may be created. Next one, status. Status is high status people, people with low status. Little status, maybe you could say wealth, maybe you could say the personality, maybe the physical appearances. So status of the people will always actually affect the perception of a individual. Contrast, color, size always create the perception of a particular individual. How you wear, what color you wore actually at a particular situation, in a function, in a party. According to that, the perception may be differ as well. Like in an Indian society is always that the black color is not basically shubh in the good workings or in the good deeds, but the black might be suitable color, red might be suitable color, but the people always having certain perception because of color as well. That is about the perception. Okay. Now, characteristics of the situation, if we talk about, okay, because of surrounding as well, the environment always influence the perception of a particular person. It may be time, location, light, heat, situation. Again, these are the major factors which will always create the perception of an individual. Now, the perceptual process, how we perceive. First thing is stimulus. If I am wearing a red color, perception is an input. How you perceive, how you actually process that color, according to that you will react. Like for example, if I'm not, again the same example, if I'm not switching on my video right now, the person or how I speak in front of you, what sort of PPT I'm showing to you, what sort of content I'm teaching to you. Some may be bored, some may be enjoying as well. Some maybe you could say ask some question afterwards. It's all about your perceptual process, how you actually perceive these curriculum, this course, this subject, this faculty level or faculty communication. If we talk about faculty knowledge as well, each and everything is a part of your perceptual process. Okay. Perceptual stimuli, I think we discussed already this part as well. Yes. Yes, that we are done, I think so, for the day, because this is all about the perception we have. And this is done for the day actually. We have discussed two topics today, students. Okay, that is perception along with attitude. Okay. So any query to anyone, please. Now the house is open for discussion. I am unmuting everyone so we can discuss all the doubts one by one. Yes, students, you can unmute yourself and please ask the queries now. Yes, students. I'm waiting for the queries, please. So Mr. Vinod, Fatihi, Gaurav, Somjit, Poonam, Anuj.
So no queries.
I think this topic was very simple actually.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. And see, student, try to understand always, because when we discuss about such psychological subject, such subject which is based on behavior, it is all about how you observe the environment, and according to that, you can actually even self-learn this particular subject. Because for this subject, definitely you need not require a technical aspect, but it's all about how actively you are observing a situation or a particular, you could say, phenomena which is going around your in your society, in your organization. Okay, so just being a faculty, it's my always a great you could say input to you, that always keep your observation active, always, whether you are standing at the railway station, or if you're in your office, or if you're riding, each and every way you always need to perceive. Okay, so perception, the observation, is the most important input for an individual personality. Always remember. Haji. Any doubt, any query? Because the next topic we have. Yes, please tell me. Please tell me.
Yes, sir. YouTubes are there for the for organization behavior.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I think they have started uploading now. So I think
Okay, sir.
first and second class, I think they have already uploaded. Okay. So this, I think, fifth class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because sir, I have missed some classes because my network was not working well. So that's why I'm not able to attend.
Okay, okay, okay. No, you can go through
So
with
I
that.
will. Hi, YouTube. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Okay. So I
Thank
think
you, sir.
what we have covered up till now, as per your syllabus, we are done with introduction, models, Hawthorne experiments. We have completed individual behavior and personality. We have also covered up. Okay. And attitude and perceptions, we have also covered up. Fine. So the next topic will start on Monday. Okay, that is tomorrow. We have one doubt clearing session. Next topic we have, that is learnings and theory of learnings. Okay. Hanji, is there any
Okay,
more
sir.
query, please? Any more doubt to anyone? I hope so. Things are going well when it's come to the pace of the subject. Okay. Yes, students. Please kindly confirm. Yes, student. other than Miss Poonam, I think. Anuj,
Yes, sir.
any query, please? Soni Kumari,
The new
Soni.
code.
Okay, thank you, Poonam. Gaurav, Vinod,
No, sir.
no query. Okay, thank you so much. So, shall we sign out for the day?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so remember one thing, students. This with the same link
Hello?
and same ID. Always remember you need to log in for this particular subject. Okay. And tomorrow you have a doubt session only. So if you have any doubt, you can log in. If not, then directly catch you on Monday with the topic learnings.
Hello?
Yes, Miss Somjit, please tell me.
Sir, I have one request to you. Sir, a little out of the topic. May I please raise?
Yeah, sure, please.
Sir, can we, all the students in the group, can we open a WhatsApp group where we can share about the webinars and opening of this organizational behavior? Because we have to be very much associated with all those, which would be very much helpful during the placement session and all these things.
So you can, I think, at your level, you can create. I don't have an issue with that.
Sir, we need your help because means those webinars we could be access to those webinars by you only, because means through you we can get the information of the webinars, seminars that is to be held, and means we could have a practical implications to